Video number 110, quadratics, and determining the number of real solutions of the number of real zeros. Before we get started, let's remind ourselves of what the quadratic formula is and what it does. This is the quadratic formula. What does it do? It solves quadratic equations set equal to 0. Now, underneath the square root is referred to as what's called the discriminant. Discriminant with an A-N-T at the end. What it does, it allows us to figure out how many solutions we're going to have. Now, in this case, f of x, if you did b squared minus 4ac, the stuff underneath the square root, discriminant, that ends up being positive 60. So you're going to end up with a plus or minus, when you do your plus or minus, what, 7.8 or whatever this is, you're going to end up with two real solutions because you're actually going to be adding 7.8 and then subtracting 7. Or whatever the square root of 60 is in this case. So you're going to end up with a picture that's got two zeros. Two zeros. Okay? Now, if you have a situation like this, okay, where k of x, you have b squared minus 4ac, you get a negative underneath the square root, the discriminant. Well, those two numbers are going to be complex numbers, so therefore there will be no real solution, and this is what the graph would look like. It's not going to touch the x-axis, so therefore you're not going to have two real zeros. Okay? Situation number 3, g of x. b squared minus 4ac is 0. Alright? Now, if you did this, you'd have negative. Now, so you'll end up with one real solution. Here's why, okay? Because plus or minus 0 is the same thing. It's the same answer showing up twice. You'll end up with this kind of a picture. Here's why, okay? Negative 6 plus or minus 0 over 2 times negative 1. Well, negative 6 plus 0 over negative 2 is 3. Negative 6 minus 0 over negative 2 is still 3. So you get 3 as an answer to this problem twice. So you end up with just the 1 point. You end up with the one real solution. Alright, so that's what you have for discriminant and determining the number of real solutions. Real quick to summarize, whenever this is positive, 2 solutions. Whenever this is 0, you end up with 1 solution. And whenever the discriminant is negative, bam, you end up with no solutions. Good times, everybody.